This last portion, ladies, I want to have some real talk with you. We got an understanding of the differences in men and women. We got an understanding of what cheating, infidelity is, all in all. Now, to bring it home, we got to get into the real talk. If you're in a situation where you screened and qualified the man that you're with for a committed relationship, now that you've got this deeper understanding of how he operates, what's on his mind, what he needs, how he thinks, how he differs from you, what would cause him to cheat? And if you've put yourself in position to get ahead of it, like I said, that real talk, I want you to have the whole picture. Because really, ladies, if not already clear, again, I make no excuses. I'm not trying to make cheating or infidelity a thing that's normal. I want to paint the picture of what is so much deeper than just cheating, not cheating, faithful, unfaithful. It's so much deeper and so many layers at which you may find yourself. And I say that to say that you can't even go to your family members, your friends, somebody else, because each and every one of us is different. You're different. That man is different. It doesn't apply. They're not going to be me. They're not going to be like you. There's so much that you need to deal with your situation, with your partner, with your man that you're choosing to be involved with. So with that, you have to be real with yourself about the man that you selected. I've already got it in the script and it's just coming off the hip. Some don't mind the physical infidelity. This is among you ladies, but will not tolerate the emotional cheating or financial cheating, vice versa. Any of those pieces can be mixed out. You have to know yourself. You have to know what's the most important thing to you. Is it that he comes home? Okay, well, whatever he does when he plays, let it stay out there wherever it was. Fair enough. But understanding that for yourself and understanding, like I just said a few minutes ago, everybody ain't going to understand that. Your relationship is your business. Don't let your friends, family members, social media at worst, it's just a bunch of fucking strangers. Until you hit me up directly and we chop it up, have a conversation, I'm still a stranger to you. I just want the best for you. But the context being, do not be impressed upon by others who are not in your shoes, who are not with your man, in your situation, looking for your best interest for the rest of your life. They're going to be painting with generalities, and that's not a way to create your life. Relationships are an exchange. I touched on that earlier. And just as women, I touched on this earlier, have been socially protected in their moments of infidelity due to the treatment, neglect, or unmet needs from their partners, it's time that we accept that men are different with different needs and wiring and deserve the same attention, honesty to ensure a healthy dynamic. If we're going to paint it with some general rules that all not men over there, they're just dogs. They just all cheat. That just is what it is. And vice versa. Same thing when I'm talking to the men. I gave them a whole spoonful of medicine to help it go down because it's just that real talk. We have to own our part in relationships. Don't get me wrong. Somebody's going to lead. Somebody's going to follow. You have to be responsible for your choice, who you give the vote to. As a woman, as the feminine partner, as the masculine man, he's got to be responsible for what he creates, who he chooses to bring into his village, to bring into his partnerships, and what he creates with them. Now, I'll tell you, this is where it becomes your choice. You can be right about how wrong he or men are, and be free to tear down whatever you've built with whomever. Nothing wrong with that. Start over. Keep in mind, you'll have less resources than when you started. What do I mean by that? You'll have less time. And ladies, I'm sorry, here's the truth of it. What happens with time? Our age catches up. Our beauty catches up. You can do some things, and I'm not talking about the artificial. You can keep it in the gym. You can take care of yourself, self-care, all that good stuff. But what I'm pointing to, resources. If you got into a relationship at 20, you're in a different place at 25. If you got into a relationship at 28, you're in a different place at 36. If these situations have happened, when you tear everything down and know what you deserve and know what you're willing to accept, do you have the whole picture of what the game looks like? If you're paying attention to this and you're not in a relationship right now, sex, dating, and relationships is some tricky shit. Modern dating is kind of tanking in the overall. So for most people, getting back out on the market after any given time, I don't care if it was a year ago, it's no longer the good old days. You're no longer where you were at that time. I say that because, ladies, a shame about it, that I've already touched on, is that divine feminine. What is life? Well, if your what is life has not experienced, has not felt what it's like to be a young woman, lady, on the market, single, out there, if you're still evaluating how you were at 18, 23, 26, but you're now 34, 39, 43, it's a different game. Your value is different. Your resources are different at all those different ages. The time on the clock, remember we talked about those eggs. If you want family, whatever your goal is, I'm giving you the whole picture because I don't want you to be in the situation where you're taking actions, thinking about what everyone's told you, thinking about the last time you were on the market or how it used to be or how you did it before or what got you into this relationship. But now you're a different person. Now you've grown. Now you're in a different position. Now your resources are different. So in your best interest, please take that into consideration, making no excuses, making no, get over it type situation. Just honestly look at all facets for yourself before you take action. So with that, like I said, you can be right about how wrong they are. You can be happy if he's a partner that makes you happy. And you both have to work to find the middle ground of workability that yields the lasting dynamic where both parties are fulfilled and joyfully living life together. I'm going to be honest, this is straightforward, right? Some of that attachment theory, psychology, childhood traumas we go through. I'm a latchkey kid from the 90s, y'all. 80s babies, dad's nowhere in sight, right? So I spent a lot of time alone. Now, as a child, that's lonely. That's by yourself. As an adult, as a man, that's isolation, that's solitude, it's a strength. There's a lot of conversations fed into that for myself personally. I can understand the value in partnership, living life with a companion. I'm speaking to the humanity of it. Drop your ego. If you are compatible with another human being, another infinite child of God with all their variations from you, if you are compatible, if you work, if they make you happy, it's worth second guessing, weighing out the pros and cons. Now, of course, infidelity, cheating, there's deceit there. That's a hurt. That's something that has to be repaired, recovered, a trust, a bond. You can't continue on. But before you tear down everything, what was there before, walking in naive, ignorant, not creating these conversations, not having an actual healthy dynamic where both of you are considered, everyone can be responsible for their part in that. And what you create that allows you to remain together, to remain happy. Maybe you do need to explore and paint outside the lines a bit because it's your business, your relationship. But I want to give you that context to consider. We're such a microwave generation these days. Divorce, easy, flip a switch. Marriage doesn't even really mean anything. You might as well just be in a relationship because we'll turn it back off as soon as we don't like it. And I'm not speaking to the outliers. I'm not speaking to the situations that are unhealthy. I'm not speaking to the repeat offenders. But if you do the things that we've been talking about, qualifying, pre-screening, having healthy conversations and creating a relationship that works, and you find somebody that's compatible, that can build into what you want, that can build into you the way you want to be loved, with the life that you want to enjoy, that's something to consider before you tear it all down, throw it away, and put yourself back on the market in a game you've never been in with resources that you no longer have, that you've already spent elsewhere. That's something that I ask for you to take into consideration because there's ground for workability. If you build in the trust, if you build in the true commitment and remove the infidelity. Remember that first category? Knows himself and honest? With those type men, these conversations will be irrelevant because you've already covered them. You already know what to expect. And if something is truly a slip up and comes up, you can address it because, again, you're being led by a man who knows himself and owns it. He's willing to do the work. He's willing to dial in. He's willing to focus on us. You do that kind of work, there's a lot more room for workability. If it's just going to be a flat out, this happened, I don't like it, I don't feel good, everybody's saying this, throw it all away, 5, 10, 15 years, children, family, whatever, just something to think about. Like I said, it's going to be that real talk. Might not feel good. Help that medicine go down. I'll give you the invitation. Consider the whole picture of this difficult conversation, cheating and infidelity. You have to seriously consider your experience and your value on the market, which dictates the value you can demand in exchange. Who you used to be, what you used to have on the market, what you could pull and do. And don't get it confused if they'll play with you, but they won't stay with you. Let's be honest about that. Call a spade a spade. But if you're going to take that on, You need to understand, because again, the same types of man are going to be out there. The terms of your relationship, what you expect, monogamy, non-monogamy, all these things. It's always a calculation, right? And as time goes on, as they change, mature, grow up, become more valuable, as you change, and I will say, unfortunately, the cards are, when it comes to sex, dating, and relationship, on the dating market, masculine energy increases. Now, that's just not men. You have masculine energy as well. But you increasing and building your career as time goes on does not translate into better dating options as time goes on. Vice versa for men, masculine, again, them building and increasing their value as time goes on does on that side of the scale. This is the game. It's just the truth. When you became legally of age, or even before legally, just in puberty, you were getting it all taxed, getting it all thrown at you because your value on the market, the sexual dating market, not as a human being, was at its max. So it's the same thing to keep into consideration. There's real data about the type of men and women, statistics, and real life situations that any man or any woman can end up in, no matter the efforts to avoid infidelity. I want to underline that because of everything I've given you tonight to prepare you inside of this discussion, to evaluate where you are, what you're considering, and what to look out for. There's still nothing protecting you. Just like I said, marriage, commitment, cheating, infidelity, fam, life happens. You may burn a few when you're out here to bake some cookies. You may get hurt. They say dance like nobody's watching, laugh like nobody can hear you, love like you've never had your heart broken. If you're going to live it, go live it. But don't be fooled. Please have some maturity to you that there is no assurity that there will be no heartbreak, no upset. That even, it's not very likely, but a non-monogamous man who knows and owns himself may slip up and bring some deceit in the mix. A monogamous man who knows and loves himself and has all his morals and values, and who you give the world to and bust it wide open however you can, infidelity may still pop up. Because he's a man, a human being. You may do it, for all we know. But the context of that, you got to take it on with a real perspective and look at what you're really creating. And I think that for all of us, men, women, everyone, in this modern dating game, how things are looking, how relationships are looking, marriages are looking, it really would behoove you to take the time to evaluate for yourself and make sure the choices that you want to stand behind are the life that you actually want to build. There's real life information out there. You don't have to be blind. You don't have to be ignorant to it. Make sure you know what you are doing before you take action. The act is not always the transgression. The act is not always the transgression. What do I mean by that? Same place I started. Infidelity, deceit is what hurts. That they cheated on you, that they lied to you, that your trust has been betrayed, that you feel like you don't know them. That's what hurts. Not that a P went into a V somewhere in the other side of the world and you were just doing what you were doing. That's not why you're leaving them. That's not the reason to throw away everything that you built. And vice versa. Same thing he's got to consider should you be the one. Last thing I'll say to you. After that betrayal truly scars us, leaves us not feeling safe, not trusting our partner, it doesn't change the fact that infidelity, cheating, these are real parts of sex, dating, and relationships in the modern world. So I leave you with this. Act accordingly. I've given you all that I can. If you need any more, reach out. Would love to let you know. Over on the Stand store, check out the book, The Dance. Really talking about the modern world of sex, dating, and relationships. Giving you all of my advice, all of my strategies for attaining and maintaining is the biggest thing, because this is in the space of relationship. That's where infidelity, I mean a real relationship, where the infidelity, where the cheating comes up, giving you all the tools to have that transparent, honest conversation. I talked about all the things. It's not a book on non-monogamy, but the context of the conversations you haven't addressed unless you've taken on non-monogamy or you've been led to it, which I'm trying to do right now, but that's inside of that book. The Dance will give you everything you need to know about sex, dating, and relationships. In the meantime, I'm going to be right here. Wishing you the best and only success, being the best version of myself. One could say, beyond empowered. Let them know, YouTube. The question is, ladies, who are you going to be?